Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, oh, come on. Alright, let's get this panel started by introducing the other two guests. We have James Marsters, otherwise known as Spike. The baddest badass of them all. Face my hand, Eliza Dushku.
What? There we go. Mike! There's two. Hello.
Hi everyone. Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I don't know how many people were here yesterday, but I said the same thing before I talked to the large crowd. It's just me, but you guys can ask me anything that you want. I'm open for anything. You can try to embarrass me if you want. It's impossible.
This man has no shit.
But I don't necessarily promise to answer anything that you sickos.
You can ask away.
You can try. You can try. It's all good.
You were going to answer.
And I think we do best when we're shooting from the hip as opposed to when we're relating stories. So we're going to need a really brave person to kick it off.
Yeah, who's going to be the first one?
Okay, that's the brave one. Come on, we got a microphone up here.
Yeah. There she is. Come on. Oh, also, everybody, I said this yesterday, but make sure to, tweet a, snap a, face a, Instagram a, Tumblr, whatever it is, and make all your friends horrifically jealous. Because that's what social media is for.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I want to let you know that when Spike died on Buffy, I was 13 and I dyed my hair black and blonde.
$700,000 trying to make you cry.
It works. All I wanted to know is, would you guys be up for a Buffy reboot movie?
Like how big of a budget for computer effects on this space?
Hey, if they can do it to Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. looked pretty good.
He looks pretty good.
But that's the problem playing him. By the way, Tiffany, you are exactly the same height as Sarah Gellar. You are Slayer's. Yeah, y'all can age, so you look great, by the way. Also, very sexy. Very.
A lot less wrinkly.
I had a lot of skin work done.
But the vampire is not supposed to age one day, so you're not going to say, like, well, Spike looks really good for his age. This is a joke back when we were filming. Everyone would say, I wonder where they're going to do the Buffy movie, and I'd say, yeah, who's going to play Spike? Well, Robert Downey Jr.
I'm sure they can come up with some interesting reason why.
No, but it would suck, man. Like, Spike is old. No, I just want to have us like, Sarah, you look like you beige.
Although I've seen pictures of her too, she looks pretty.
Yeah, she looks awesome. Yeah, you're right.
2 kids later, it's like she doesn't make either. I always say I would do it like a reunion thing if Joss was the captain. Kind of thing. It would be super weird and awkward. And I don't know. It's not enough.
My whole face is covered, so I don't have to worry about aging at all. Look, if Joss was involved and there was a thing, I thought I'd be asked, but I'd be in it in a heartbeat.
Wait a minute, they could just be in man face the whole time.
The whole time.
Okay, well then we're on. As long as
Yeah. So pretty much.
There you go. Put it simply.
And I guess, should people line up in the middle if they want to ask questions?
No one wants to be.
Because otherwise I'm going to have to fill.
I'm just done.
And you don't have to squat like yesterday if
Yeah.
you're lining up. I mean, if you want.
I would.
That poor guy in his knees.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, injury.
Yeah, I think it might be like.
You know, and I'm sorry that we're late, but apparently a bunch of people have taken over downtown today. I don't know what's going on. But guys, we have taken over Atlanta.
Geek apocalypse.
We won. We just took over the world. I've been doing conventions. I was at the second convention in America back in 1973. Yeah. It was back when it was Star Trek or Space 1999. Those were the only two things we were fans of, and we hated each other. We're like, look at Space 99, and I'm like, your laser gun looks stupid.
You don't even have a laser gun, you have a phaser. What's a phaser? Phasers are dumb.
Yeah, phasers don't make scientific sense. Oh, shut up.
Hi guys, thanks for coming. My question is for all of you actually. I think Buffy is known for the friendships more than the romances. What is your favorite canon friendship?
My favorite what friendship?
Friendship, like of all the characters on the show, what's your favorite friendship?
I mean, I had like friends and then they weren't my friends and they know I have relationships, so but I felt like Angel, you know, did me right. Even when I was a hot mess, he blew it. So a few times he's been my friend.
I think the hot romance with Giles.
The hot bromance with Spike.
Yeah.
And I also always thought that Clem and Lauren would have been best friends.
God, Mr.
Hi, you guys all seem like you really enjoyed working with Joss, and I was just wondering what's the experience like in Buffy and Angel and Dollhouse in your case? Did he really just run a great show, or what makes you so loyal to him?
Joss Whedon is the best boss I ever had. You know, he's kind, he's patient, loving, supportive. He is hardest on himself. You know, like if you ask him like, "What's the script for next week?" He'll say, "I don't know." He has conversed with the worst employee you'd ever want. He will never do what you want him to do. He will do exactly what he wants to do, which is why his shows are so good. You know, but he just fearlessly, like, there is a huge pressure from the corporate world to make shows what they want it to be, which is safe all the time. And then there's the bubbling artistic impulse to try to make it interesting, you know, not safe. And you know, the best producers run interference between those two worlds, and the actors don't have to worry about that downward pressure from corporations. And Joss was just fabulously good at that. And I would go into his office and he'd be like, "No, we're not doing that. Shut up, I'm busy." Who was that, Josh? Oh, it's the head of 20th Century. What do you need? I remember one day I came in and goes, and it was fighting to have Amber and Tara and the kiss, right? And he was like, "They're kissing. That's it." Boom.
I agree with you. I'm so just like. He's all those things, yeah. And I mean, I love that he fights for women, strong women, but smart women. Yeah, he fights for LGBT. He fights for the underdog, you know. And on set, he doesn't treat different, you know, doesn't treat people differently. Everyone the boss. And then I love that he dances so awesome and weird. We danced on the dance floor, like in freakish, awesome. We went to a dance party like 3 weeks ago, and just for like 4 fucking hours, that dude with his crazy legs, and just to give no F's attitude, he just dances with me. And that's like an I just love that about him. I know, there's maybe a weird reason to want to work for him, but got weird reasons for a lot of things.
I actually never got to work with him. What? He was off shooting Firefly during season 6. But I worked a lot with Marty and Nick Solomon. But yeah, I never got to work with him. I was never directed by him. Yeah. I know, like, son of a bitch.
Smart writing is so hard to find in that town. I can't stress that enough. I read scripts. I've been reading scripts for 25 years, and when you work with Joss, it is a tough act to follow because his stuff. I'm sorry, I forgot to Boston. I cuss a lot. You freaking guy, you friggin' shitbag. His stuff is wicked smart. Legit.
It's a pizza.
How many kids do we have in the audience tonight?
Boston language.
Go Sox!
Yeah, one of the questions that often gets asked is, how often did you guys improvise? It was like, never. You knew where every comma was. I was like, I'm not improvising a thing, which is rare.
Never. Okay, we're answering questions. Yes.
Of all the characters you all worked with, who was your favorite to either verbally banter or physically fight with?
Well, Clem was clearly a lover, not a fighter. I loved my scenes with Michelle Trachtenberg. I loved my stuff with Dawn. I thought those episodes were really, really cool. I had a lot of fun with that. And they alluded that Clem and Anya may have gotten together in like a dream sequence. Yeah. So I always thought that was funny.
I think my favorite fight scene was with a woman called Ming Lee, who is a descendant from Bruce Lee, and she played the Chinese slave. She was very diminutive, very sweet, and I forgot just for a second how deadly she was. We had swords, right? And I have good sword work from stage and stuff, so I'm okay with a sword. And I was kind of messing around with her, like getting kind of a little bit close, just joking around. She's like, "Oh, very funny, haha." Right there. Oh yeah, she was so beautifully deadly. She teaches at this dojo to this day in Santa Monica. But I also love fighting Sarah because she's trained and I'm trained, and the stuntmen would, out of deference, sell the punches to Buffy like way away from her face, and I always thought it was kind of comical, so I always sold punches right up in her face. I always wanted her to feel the wind. And so she would be like, "Oh yeah, really? Cool, right on." And then she comes in close, and she just nipped my nose. Play that game.
It was almost really bad for me because I punched Sarah in the mouth one time. She overstepped her mark, which she never does. You know how she is. So I think she was kind of like, "Oh, what you got?" And remember when Oz is in the cage, and I got my headphones on, I'm dancing, and I'm backing up, and she comes and taps me on the shoulder, and I have a big metal key ring in my hand, and I look around, and I just clock her in the jaw, and she completely overstepped her mark, and I made contact, and it was like this standoff, where I was like, oh shit. Anyway, everyone knew I just hit her, and she kind of like went down and then looked up at me. And you know, as actors, you never know whether to say like, "Oh, cut," or like just keep going. And I just was like, "I'm fired."
I just punched the title character.
And then like a week later, we were like fighting on the railroad tracks, and she like tossed me into a box. I was like, "Oh, really?" We were on the tracks, and I mean, so she was fun because it was, yeah, we got into it. But and I also like the scene where we were handcuffed together fighting because I just never seen that, and it was gnarly and sick and twisted, and I like that stuff.
Okay.
Is that real handcuffs?
At one point, I mean, it was a 5-page fight scene, and I think we were handcuffed together for like 3 of them. Yeah, no, we had abrasions.
Yeah, you can like your hands can go numb from handcuffs, not that.
Right?
Handcuffs are not designed to be comfortable.
But once you're
No,
numb,
they're not.
That's why they put the fuzzy thing around them. They're supposed to be comfortable.
And it turns out the backseat of cop cars doesn't labor.
Not really.
but once you're numb, you can keep going. It doesn't hurt so
This question for James. Who is a better kisser, Sarah Michelle Gellar or John Bartman?
Do you want the answer that you want or the answer that's true?
Yes.
But
Both.
Okay. Well, the truth is, I don't know. Because, like, when you're doing a kiss on film, it's a glamour shot, right? And glamorous or glamour, the actual meaning of that word is fake, illusion. It's a glamour, right? It's not real. And the more glamorous the shot is, the harder it is to create, because it's further away from reality. So when you see an image that is really glamorous, there's a lot of work, like hard work going into getting an image. So the other thing is, like, when you're doing an overshot, when the camera's over your shoulder and they're really focused on who they're interested in, your job is not to ruin the shot. So you can't like be like going like this and stuff. You can't get in the way of the camera. You can't get in the way of the light. More importantly, the closer you are to the other actor, the easier it is to corrupt that light. So when you are kissing someone, the chances that you are going to ruin the shot become huge. So it's really like, cut, James. One, just move your head, please, to the left. Not too much. Okay. Action. James, hold on. Like when I first kissed Buffy, she was actually you in Buffy 5. You weren't there. So, I had 14 Ks. Because I was playing the part. I was acting. I was all, that's me enough. And I was like, Spike just really wanted to kiss her, and I was really acting. And Sarah just kept saying, James, just be a robot. We're never going to go home unless you stop acting.
That sounds like my last Friday night.
But, with John, first of all, I bit him on the first take. So, I haven't seen you for 300 years, baby. We had a pretty good fight scene after that, and John and I come from stage where you don't get a stuntman. So we conspired to not let the stunt crew do anything. And I think they had like 2 shots in that sequence. So I really put my safety in his hands over and over and over for about 10 hours, and he never let me down. And I trust him on a level that you can't really get to otherwise. And the other thing is, I'm not really comfortable with kissing someone. So it's just weird, man. Like, when your job is to have sex and you're being paid, like, what's your job description? So, and you got crew men. high level of freedom, okay? This is my
David and I never had that problem. He bit me once. It was cool.
Cut to the chase, I need to trust the person that I'm having a scene like that, and I'd rather kiss John than anybody else in the world.
Can you talk more about that, David?
Yeah.
I wouldn't need more water,
It
but we
was one of my
can continue to
first
talk.
set kisses, and I'm straddling him on the ground, and I'm gonna like kill him or.
Slower,
I was
slower.
gonna say. And he's just like, yeah, I'll be bad with you. And so I go down and I just go for this kiss. And on the first take, his vampire thing went like in my tongue, and it was like, oh, my tongue's bleeding. I'm like, can we take his vampire teeth out for the next 15 takes? Because and David just sat there, and I think it was David Greenwald came over or Josh or someone, and they're like, wow, Eliza, so you're really using that tongue, huh? What do you want?
It's the best day ever.
David, a lucky bastard.
I've always found Faith and Spike to be the two most consistently complex characters in Buffy, just evolving from season to season. And even Clem is not what he appears when you first see him compared to later when you know the big reveal of his weird face.
His normal face was fine.
So as actors, did you guys change anything in your approach to the character as they added layers through the season? Or was it all pretty much just approaching it in the moment?
Good question. Well, now we have to think.
Me and Faith, I felt, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, like, that character was very much art imitating life for me at the time. I mean, I was 17 years old when I first played Faith. I had just graduated high school. I was a nut, I was wearing leather pants and too much makeup and fighting cops and getting in trouble, but like also just just experimenting and figuring out who I was, and had so much bravado over so much pain, and like everyone after high school, right? And like middle school and high school, they're hard, and so I feel like, yeah, as it went on, and also Josh would oftentimes, like, I would see things in the script and be like, hey, I told you that in secret, bro. She'd follow them too. I'd be like, oh, okay, super creative you are, huh? He would add little things in, and then, no, but I felt like that evolution was, I don't know, it was just really special and kind of personal. But I mean, I'm not taking credit for it, like, that's his thing, but, yeah.
Because like really, it's kind of both, in a lot of ways, if you can just be present in the moment and try to give over to the journey that Josh is dictating, you're going to be taken on a roller coaster, and trying to be true to all of that, That being said, I cheated. In the beginning, I was told that I was a soulless vampire, and I didn't want to be killed off. And I didn't think that a soulless vampire was going to last very long. And I wanted the audience to connect with me. So I was just like, I got a soul. Like, I'm not going to tell Josh anything like that. I got love in my heart. I just want to play it like I got a soul. And it worked. And it killed me. And then he gave me a soul. I was like, oh no. What am I going to do now? I got nothing more to offer than I've been doing. And then luckily, the writing saved me. Just be, the second part of your question, just be in the moment. And then the scripts dictated and added more to that. And then also it was hard when I found out that I was a nerd before I was a vampire, because I'm a real nerd in real life, and it's so nice for the world to think I was bad. Like when they revealed me as a nerd, I was like, Josh! Oh! Take it away! Oh, no! But then just give over to that. Joss explained that, no, I think Spike is the most successful poser in history. Once you're a vampire, you can get away with the pose, because if you get in a fight, you know you win, so it's
Yeah, I think if the writing is good, which it was, you don't have to do a tremendous amount of work as an actor. And my first episode, I had no idea I was coming back. I think I had 4 lines, and I just tried to be as funny as I could. Shocking, right? So I played it for laughs because I was a fan of the show, and I knew that I didn't want to be a mean, goofy, or mean demon. I just played it like myself. So then when I came back for that second episode and they gave more character stuff for him, I just played a heightened version of myself. I was just so.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part of filming for you guys?
Trying not to completely nerd out at the people who I'm working with.
The hours were hard. We were known as Buffy the Weekend. Most shows work 12 hours a day. That show filmed 14 to 20 hours a day. And you get to a level of fatigue that you never knew existed. Like you break through walls of tire, and you think you come to the end of tire, and you ain't even there yet, and you get further along. And I remember one day just collapsing in hysterical laughter. I was trying to do a fight scene. Did you hear it? I'm not sure, but I just remember the stuntmen were coming at me, and they taught me the moves and everything, but it was real quick stuff. Deal with one guy, another guy comes, deal with that guy, deal with that guy, and I just was like, I can't do that. So that was probably the hardest part of it,
The long hour. I think I had one day, it was just one. They usually shot me out in a day, but I had one day where I was in makeup for 14 hours. And I shot for 5 minutes in a crowd. They're like, you're wrapped. All right. But I was happy to be there.
Yeah, I liked that I was finally shooting late at night because I was a minor before I went like a young person, not a minor, I was a minor.
Oh, minor.
And so I had to get emancipated to do Buffy in Boston so that I could work vampire night hours. And so for the previous 7 years I was a kid and I had to go home. So I was like, yeah, I get to stay up all night in the cemetery. Bad. This is cool. So I liked that part. And then as far as the worst part, the first thing that came to mind was most jobs after. Because again, it was just so great. It was my first time doing television and then there was it's a tough act to follow. And it was bad the day that I smashed David Brown's titanium golf club in the parking lot. He was pissed that day, and that was a bad day. It was on accident. It was by accident, but still. Accident. He just had it delivered to the set. I was like, let me give that thing a swing. And he's like, do you know how to do it? I was like, do I? Just do an air swing in the parking lot outside his trailer, and I just chopped it on the concrete. I think he cried a little. And then we had to go in and shoot a scene where everyone was set. Everyone was in the scene. We were in the high school, and he told Sarah, and in front of everyone, Sarah was like, "Why did you do that, Eliza?" Because I'm just an asshole. I was like, it was obviously not on purpose, but everyone was mad at me, and it felt like I was really in high school, and everyone was mad at me. I was like, this is insane. Bully.
I was wondering what your favorite villain or demon or enemy that you guys faced in either Buffy or Angel was.
Favorite villain?
Yeah, your
Favorite bad guy.
Favorite bad guy.
Favorite.
Woo!
2, and that was it. Like, I had no more. That was out, and I've done my job, and I was done. But I left season 2 going, try to do Buffy without me. And then I watched season 3, I was like, oh. It was just fine.
From a fan perspective, my favorite were the gentlemen.
Well, I'm just gonna say Spike. Yeah, because he said me. No. Man, it's crazy. Like, I love the show so much, but I don't have as near as amazing of a memory as like you guys do. So sometimes people still come to, remember that fight Faith had with the blood? I'm like, totally, yeah, that was scary. But as far as characters, yeah, I thought we had a fun thing. I remember that scene. Was it in your apartment in the basement or something? Or
It's not that we don't care, man. It's just sleep deprivation. I don't remember. It was we used to ask each other, like, what did we film yesterday? Quick. I don't know.
I just remember it was charged because I felt like we both, our characters had definitely both made an impact, and then we got to be together, and it was like, ooh, let's smolder, so we were, but banter, it was like a charge.
I just remember having one scene, like the whole.
In a basement, right? I think we were in Buffy's basement. Where were we, guys?
Buffy's basement. You come in, you're having a smoke on your cotton, and Buffy comes down the stairs, and Faith leaves, and she's like, what was that all about? And you're like, oh, jealous.
You should watch this show. It's really good.
Okay, I'm a little worried you may not remember. Of your characters, or character development or story development, is there anything you wish they had touched on that they didn't get to, because whether it was canceled or they just didn't get to because it ended?
Me and Buffy should have made out.
Deleted scenes.
Her tongue or was she a bit your
I'm not going to be able to stand up for a little while.
No, it's just like I've seen Photoshop images of it, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't know if she feels the same.
I generally, there got to be a point on Buffy in 6. It was right after that bathroom scene, and I realized that I was going to have to do whatever they thought of to whomever they thought of, and it didn't really matter if it was scary or not. And I got terrified, and I didn't really want to even read the scripts anymore because I didn't want to see what I was going to have to do. In hindsight, I'm really proud of it because I was out of my comfort zone. But like, I did so many weird stuff. There's so many directions for that character. I cannot think that I would have wanted more. I barely kept up with what happened. So I can't. That was enough, man. That was enough.
I just wish I'd had more. I would love to have seen the episode where Clem got a magical enchantment that tightened his skin up. And then he got to meet Faith, and they got to hang out, Not that I've thought about this at all.
I need you and Buffy.
I'm literally dead.
His girlfriend's going to send me back.
Yeah.
for James in the Once More with Billy musical episode on Buffy. What was the favorite thing about the episode, and what was the hardest thing from coming from your theater background?
My favorite thing was when I got to the set to film my scene, the song. The beginning of it starts in Crypt, and Joss was just so worried that it was going to be uninteresting. Because it was just, he's directing this musical with all, he's directing all the scenes with all these dancers coming by and all this stuff, and then he's got the scene of just two people kind of talking in the crypt. And he's kind of sweating. He's like, I don't know what we're going to do. And then we blocked it, and he was like, oh, it's going to be fine. Oh, that's great. And so that was kind of nice. The hardest thing was really kind of before we started shooting it, the hardest thing was getting the cassette tape of the song. Like Joss was singing a song, and he's a really good songwriter. But they sounded cheesy. And we really thought that he was flushing the show down the toilet. We're jumping the shark in the biggest way possible. And we had no faith at all. And to the point where he realized how much he was asking the cast. Like Tony Head and I were comfortable singing in public. We were already doing that in other ways. The rest of the cast had a really good argument when they said, you hired me to be a one-camera dramatic/comedic actor. That's my wheelhouse. Now you're asking me to do something that I'm not trained in. You're going to ruin my career. Like, could I please juggle real change sauces?
It's their bathroom
I was
scene.
also really proud of the cast because at some point everyone stopped whining, stopped begging to get out of it, and we started working. No one harder than Sarah. I think she had 2 vocal coaches coming in beforehand, getting ready for it. And in the face of certain doom, as a company, we decided to go out swinging. And so it was our little, I can realize, how Angel ended, we're going to die, but we're going to try. That was exactly what it was like. I was never more proud of it.
Yeah.
He's here to fight me.
So this question is for James Marsters. Could you tell me about your t-shirt?
I'm producing an online show called Videos. It is about 2 guys that travel the world. One of them's a little famous. They live
Which one?
interesting life.
Now what?
They get flown around first class. They interact with fans. They hang out with celebrities. But all they really want to do is get back to the hotel room and video games.
Where can we find such a show, James?
It'll be available on Amazon in about 2 months, and it'll be like $19.95 for 15 episodes. It'll be half an hour each. And
That sounds like a fantastic bargain.
But wait, there's more.
You can go see the trailer for it right now, videosonline.com. You can get this trailer for free, or you can go to my Facebook page, James Marsters Official, check out the trailer, and if you're smart, subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe.
That sounds like a fantastic show. I would want to go about being on that show.
Yeah, okay.
I publicly pressured the lead.
Hi, this question is also for James Marsters, but y'all are welcome to chime in if you have any thoughts.
Oh, I would.
I was in a panel earlier with George's Genty that does the artwork for the comics, So he was commenting about in season 8, Spike eventually shows up and Buffy seems to be like, oh yeah, hey, it's Spike, but we never get to see a flashback or anything of how Buffy finally realizes that Spike is still alive, because the last she saw him, he was dying for everyone. So I was curious, in your mind, how did that scene happen when Buffy finds out Spike is still alive?
I think, Angel probably ratted me out for being alive. He probably called, when I showed up at his office, he probably called up, I was like, what, you sent him over? Like, damn you! Yeah, I would suspect that that's probably how she found out. Or maybe sloppy running. I don't know.
guys all read the comics? Yes, you should. They're really good. Clem ends up with Harmony. Clem is completely smitten with Harmony. He gets her a unicorn. Told you, love her, not father.
Hi, so I was wondering, I know acting is a lot of psychology, and something that really stood out to me about yours and Faith's characters is that, and Eliza, is that y'all, y'all had, it was a redemption arc for both of you, and it is huge, and it's one of the most beautiful, both of your stories are so beautiful in the sense that you guys are redeemed at the end. And I guess I was curious, how did you as actors, like, when you created Spike and you created Faith, like, with yourselves in acting, like, what was your process, like, going through that from, like, evil to good, the redemption that you guys got to experience and bring to life in these characters? Can you talk about that?
Sure. No.
I mean, these are good questions. You guys are deep up here.
That's how we roll.
For me, again, it was a very similar. I could identify with a lot of the sort of themes in Faith's life, just from my own at the time, and you know, good people can do bad things, and I said yesterday, good people can do bad things and hurt people, and so I feel like, especially also when Faith first started crossing over to Crazy Town, that was when I really started having fan letters and fan encounters where people were really feeling for the character and saying, like, I identify with the character, and so I think, again, I can't really take credit for creating Faith. I can't take, that happened from Joss and the writers, but I just think that when it was done so well, I was able to bring a lot of my own feelings and my own reality into it. So that was, my process was just trying to be real and trying to be vulnerable as an actor, really vulnerable, to show that show that.
Yeah, you know, when I got on the show, I was really aware, like I was a disposable villain. Spike was designed to be killed very quickly. And to Joss Whedon, evil is not cool. And I really respect that. I think that it's a disservice when storytellers present evil as cool, you know, and don't do anything more with it than that. And Joss, like, vampires for this show, for Buffy, they are metaphors for all the things you get over in high school, for all the problems you had in high school. So vampires on Buffy are supposed to be ugly and very quickly dead. And I mean, that's why we vamp out before we fight someone, because Joss did not want that to be central at all. And then I get on the show, and the fans are reacting in a way like, oh, it's like he got talked into one romantic vampire. And it wasn't his idea, it was Dave Greenwald. And then Angel takes off like a shot, and Joss is like, okay, that's it. One, no more. And I come on the show, and whatever it was, the coat, the hair, or whatever that was, amazing amount of makeup. I had more makeup than Buffy. I was being perceived as a romantic. And he backed me up against the wall when Joss did. He goes, I don't care how hot you are dead. So at some point, you know, it became clear that he was going to keep me around. I guess it was when he put me in the cast in season 4. And the question is, what are you going to do with this guy? How are you going to do it? And the thing is that I didn't know, I don't know if you knew, but he was going to redeem me. And Joss doesn't do anything kind of by half measure. And there's been a lot of stories and a lot of soap operas about the bad guy who then gets redeemed. And if you don't do it honestly and fully, it's really cheesy. and he doesn't do that. So what he was going to do is just put me through a lot of pain. And
Like he does.
and I just tried to be honest with him, and I tried to do it with as much sincerity as he was writing it. I remember when when Spike gets his soul, like he starts getting visited by all his former victims as ghosts, going, "Hey, by the way, you took me away from, I was a mother, and I was a baby, and I grew up, and she's now, not doing so well." So I was waking up in the morning and taking everything that I felt guilty for in my life and just beating myself over the head with it constantly for like 4 months. Which, as I found out, psychologically speaking, is not good. It worked pretty well on film, but it didn't do me any favors in real life, But I thought that I was just trying to keep up with it. Yeah.
All right, we are at time, guys.